Welcome back to Gabby's Nest. It's Roger here. I'm going to take you through a nice, simple, homemade potato salad recipe. What you're going to need 4 or 5 nice sized potatoes, white or red, Desiree, doesn't really matter. We're going to cook those for about 10 to 12 minutes. Peel them first, chop them up. You're going to need 3 or 4 rashers of bacon. We've got 3 spring onions, which we're going to peel and chop up. We've got a handful of parsley, salt, and the secret ingredient, whole egg mayonnaise. So let's get started with the potatoes. Okay, now I've got all those peeled, it's time to cut them up. I'm going to cut them twice, as we want nice sort of 1 centimetre cubes. So cut them three ways that way, and 3 ways this way, and 2 cuts that way. You can put them straight into the saucepan. So 2 cuts diagonally and horizontally, get them roughly the same size, and we'll do that for all of them. Okay, we're going to boil some water, save some time. Just need a little sprinkle of salt, not too much. When that water comes to the boil, we'll tip that in and we'll cook it for about 10 minutes and just check them, just see how they are. You don't want them too soft so they fall to bits, but I also don't like it when they're too crunchy. So here we've got 3 spring onions. We're just going to cut the roots off right at the very end. And here you'll find some outer leaves here that you can pull off. And just pull that off. We'll keep that, but just cut the bottom bit off. Kettle's boiled, so I'll pop that on. Come to the boil and then we'll let it just leave it to simmer. We'll give them a quick rinse. Okay, now we're going to chop these up finely. Watch your fingers. Always curl your fingers back behind you, that way you can use your knuckle and you're not going to cut your fingers off. Nice and fine. Make sure you keep your fingers curled behind. Yeah, that's about a good 1.5 cups. Now at this stage we can put that straight into our mixing bowl. Now we cut the bacon. Get the rind off it. Save that for your crows and your magpies. What we're doing, we're going to do about, again, 1 centimetre length, because it will get smaller while we cook it. Nice chunks. What we do, put that straight in the fry pan, into a cold pan. I like to render out as much of the fat as I can, and starting it off in a cold pan helps to do that. Okay, the potatoes water has just come to the boil, so we've turned it down a little bit, let it simmer for about 10 minutes and then we'll check it. We've got the bacon all diced up. Now we're going to put that on the gas as well. Okay, we're just browning off the bacon. The potatoes still got about another 8 minutes to go. We've got plenty of time to get a really nice crunch on these. It'll take a few more minutes. Thinly cut smoked bacon is the best. Nice and thin because it crisps up so well. Well, it's almost there. You'll notice that the pan will start spitting everywhere, so if you've got a little bit of foil, just keep that around. That way it'll keep the rest of the cooking surface clean. And you really notice it'll start popping soon, and that's when it's just about done. So what we want is as many of them as nice and crunchy without over nuking them. They'll just turn to charcoal. You can see how much of the bacon fat's come out. Don't throw that away. If you've got a little jar or something, keep it. It's really nice on baked potatoes. Okay, so these are done now. Got a bit of smoke. We're going to turn the heat off. We're going to transfer that over onto some paper towel on a plate. We're going to let that drain off. Now hang on to all this bacon fat. Like I said, if you've got a container, put it in there. And just scoop that over onto the paper towel. Try not to get too much of the fat in there. Spread this out onto this nice single layer. You can hear how crunchy that's going to be. And we've got another piece of paper towel to go over that. Okay, now time to check potatoes. A little bit of a stir. You can actually feel when they're quite soft with the fork. The test is just grab one and see if it'll break apart as you push down. That's got a nice little crack in it, but I just want to leave it probably for another minute and a half. Okay, these are all done. They're nice and soft for the fork to go in. Now we're going to drain them. Turn off the heat. We're going to let these drain all the way and cool down a little bit, and then we'll come back. Okay, these are still pretty hot, but that's okay because it'll make the mayonnaise spread around and evenly coat all the pieces. So we're just going to put the potatoes straight into the bowl. Now for the mayo, you can obviously make your own if you like. And I find this whole egg mayonnaise is very nice. And for those 6 potatoes, we're going to put in 2 heaped tablespoons, which is about 3 of these dessert spoons. And lightly fold that through. The heat of the potatoes should make that a little easier to spread around. Don't be too heavy-handed or else they'll all fall to bits. You're looking just for a nice, light, even coating of the mayonnaise over all. So that's actually gently folded. Now we want to add a little bit of salt to taste. Let's put a little crack in. Not too much. Give that a stir through. Okay, we're not putting too much salt in because obviously we've got the bacon. It's quite salty. Now at this stage we don't put the bacon in because we want to keep that as crispy as possible. So we'll fold that in just before we serve it. And also some parsley here. We can put the parsley through now if you want, but basically this is all ready for a bit of cling fill on top and to refrigerate until you're ready to serve. So once we've mixed that bacon and the parsley together, we'll come back and let you see how it looks. Okay, we've had the potatoes cool down in the fridge. Now it's time to add a little bit of parsley, just a handful of parsley, and our crispy bacon pieces. Give that a quick mix. And there we have it. Whatever you don't need, whatever you don't use, just put a bit of cling film over the top of it and it'll last a couple